Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland.
Oh boy, let's do this.
Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean...
Because that would be stupid.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
I approve this measure.
I really don't see Apple ever doing that. I am Nadella.
I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing. Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast. I am your host, Wes, and I am here with Landon.
Hello.
And Caleb.
Hello.
And we are here to talk all things tech, you guys. This week, there's a lot of tech news, isn't there?
No.
No, not at all. Going to totally be reaching the bottom of the barrel on this one.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, it is that slow season. Anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and start with Caleb. Caleb's got a lot of news for us. Probably the most news.
Yeah.
So take it away.
All right. So, first, rumor has it,
I'm not going to start singing.
there's a chance that the LED version of the iPhone is going to be delayed until October, not releasing at the end of September as expected.
So, similar to the iPhone 10.
A little bit, except hopefully coming slightly sooner.
Yeah.
That being said, this is a supply chain rumor, which means that what they're really saying is, we think the supply chain is currently ramping up to full production for the OLED versions of the iPhone, but we're not seeing the same ramp up for the LED version of the iPhone. But we could be watching the wrong panels for the LED version. It's possible they have ramped up production. We're just not sure. So,
I'm confused now because you initially said OLED and then LED. I'm like, that's the same. Are you meaning LCD?
Sorry, yes.
Okay.
The LCD. Sorry, no.
I was trying to put that together myself.
The LCD version, which, I mean, it does use an LED backlight.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a liquid crystal display instead of an organic light-emitting diode display. Sorry. But yes, there's a chance that one could be coming a month later. I actually would like to apologize to all of our listeners for my whole thing of talking about the SSDs in the MacBook from last week, because I realized about halfway through that explanation, I started calling them RAM instead of SSDs, which, I mean, it still applied. Apple does solder their RAM onto their motherboards as well as their SSD modules, but that's not really pertinent to the conversation I was having at the time. And actually, while I'm talking about it, let's go ahead and talk about the SSD on the 2018 MacBook Pro.
By the way, apology accepted.
Oh, good. I wasn't actually apologizing to you,
I know.
Wes.
Of all the people that he would be apologizing to, it's definitely not you.
I'm on the bottom of the list, but I am on the list.
Sure. You can be on the list, Wes. Let me scribble that down here with crayon. Okay, so in previous iterations, the 2017-2016 versions of the MacBook Pro, ever since they switched to their Thunderbolt 3 dealio, the RAM has been soldered onto the SSD has been soldered onto the motherboard.
Everything inside of this MacBook Pro is soldered to it.
That's true. The RAM was soldered to the motherboard before this, though. That's been that way for a while. Starting with 2016, the Thunderbolt 3 MacBook Pro, this SSD is soldered onto the motherboard. Now, the 2016-2017 versions of this laptop had a port on the motherboard that was super special, and if your logic board failed for whatever reason and the computer became inoperable, you could take it to an Apple service center or an Apple certified repair shop, and they could plug the thing into a special little jig that they had that would allow them to use a different computer to read the data off of the SSD without the logic board being in a functional state. It was basically just a diagnostic port that was a final backup to getting data off of your computer if the logic board crapped out, because you couldn't just take the SSD out and then try to put it into another computer or something like that to get the data off. So that was cool. That port, as revealed by the teardown of the 2018 versions of this laptop, is gone!
Oh, yay.
Hey! Okay, so remember what I said about having the fastest SSD in the business in a laptop?
Yep.
Because they could solder the SSD chips, not the RAM chip, the SSD chips onto the logic board, and that allowed the T2 to basically address each of those things at the same time in a kind of weird custom pseudo RAID array. And how cool is that? We have the fastest SSD in a laptop ever. Apparently that comes with some caveats. So back up all of your data to the cloud and use Time Machine.
Yeah.
It's a good policy.
Yeah.
Back your computer
that should
up.
be the case anyways, but
Yes.
definitely, yeah.
Yes. And I mean, really, if you have important data that you deal with on your computer, here's a good rule of thumb for you. You should have your computer with its internal storage, and then you should have at least 2 other backups. One on-site, that's what Time Machine would be, an external hard drive or something that you plug into your computer and you set up Time Machine so that every time that thing's plugged in, it backs up all of the stuff on the computer to that external drive. It can be a physical hard drive, it can be an SSD, whatever you want that to be, just something that is at your house that is constantly backing up the data on your computer. And then one off-site backup. That can be through a cloud service, that can be a special hard drive that you back up everything onto your computer to once a month and then keep it at somebody else's house. Something like that would be good. What most professional, like if this is your work, this is your profession, you have to have this data, it has to be safe no matter what. Probably best to have 3. So you have one local backup, you have one off-site physical backup that you control, that is just a drive you keep at somebody else's house, and then you have one cloud service backup. So if your computer craps out, then you've got your local backup, you can get back to work immediately. If your house burns down, you can get another computer, you can get stuff off of your cloud backup, and you can get back to work as quickly as possible. If the cloud services crap out for some reason or the internet is gone, you can go to somebody else's house. Hopefully their house hasn't burned down in the same whatever burned down your house. Anyways, so that kind of thing becomes more important than ever.
Yeah.
When your SSD cannot be removed from your computer, if your logic board craps out or something goes wrong with the power delivery to your computer or something like that, you got to have that data backed up somewhere. So, just a note. Speaking, again, of the 2018 MacBook Pros, we talked last week a little bit about how the i9 was thermal throttling like mad and causing all kinds of problems and was actually slower than the i7 in sustained workloads because of that. Apple actually acknowledged that issue. And then Apple said, sorry, that's a firmware bug, and here's a software release that fixes it. Download the latest version of macOS.
Oh.
Everyone downloaded it. Problem solved. So that was neat.
Wow.
Now, I want to know, do you think it was an actual bug? Or do you think they did it on purpose, wanted to see what people thought, and then like, okay, never mind, they don't like it, we'll change it?
It was definitely 100% a bug, because, so here was what was happening, and if you look at the actual thermals tracked by the people that were seeing this problem with the i9s, what was happening is it would turbo up to 4 gigahertz, and then there was like a power delivery something or other that was getting logged by, I don't know, some thermal chip on the logic board that was misreading something. There was a flipped bit in the firmware, basically, is what it came right down to. And so it was getting the wrong thing off of that and then going, holy crap, the computer's like 1,000,000 degrees Celsius, and immediately cut like all power to the CPU. And so, but then it would immediately drop. The temperature dropped like drastically super fast because it wasn't actually 1,000,000 degrees.
Right.
And so then it would go, oh, now everything's fine. And so it would turbo back up to 4. And if you look at the graphs, it's like this super jagged line just up and down constantly. Like, holy crap, like you can't do a sustained CPU workflow under that kind of thing. Here's the interesting part. It wasn't just the i9. The i7 and the i5s available across the entire MacBook Pro line for 2018 had the exact same problem. It was just most noticeable with the i9 because that one like turboed up the highest to the fastest clock speed. So
it definitely was a bug.
Yes,
yeah.
it was a firmware bug.
All I had heard is that it was just on the i9s and it was certain situations.
Yep. And some people were looking at it and they were just like, yeah, I mean, this is a thermal thing. It's when the computer is under sustained load and it starts getting hot. This is when this happens. And technically, yeah, it was a thermal thing. But there was a piece of firmware in the thermal system that was totally screwed up. Now, here's my thing. It's awesome that Apple was able to identify that pretty quickly and then fix it pretty quickly. But what in the heck is wrong with their QA that they didn't catch that before release?
No kidding.
Like, if nothing else...
Because it's not like it's just, a small percentage of people that were. This was
No,
everyone.
It was every i9. It was pretty darn easy to reproduce this.
Yeah, everyone that was trying this was getting this result.
Yep. It was super repeatable. And so, like, you look at that and you're just like, if nothing else, some tester somewhere in Apple had to have noticed this with one of these i9 laptops and gone, hey, so that they could have had a day one patch ready for Mac OS to basically go, okay, yeah, here's a problem. Download the latest version of Mac OS. It just released today, along with the laptop. Sorry it wasn't pre-installed, but we started shipping these things like 4 weeks ago, and we discovered the problem 2 weeks ago, or something like that. I'm fine with that. Day one patches, they make sense to me. I work at a software development firm. I know how this goes. But come on, guys. The fact that your customers are the ones that notice this, like, yeah, good job for fixing it. But dadgum, why did you not see this before release? So and it's been this kind of thing for the past couple of years. Apple has been actually quite quick to fix these pretty serious issues. And it's nice that they so tightly control their hardware and software integration that they can so easily fix it just by pushing an update over the air.
Yeah.
Great. But catch these things before you ship the product, if you please. So, that being said, that does mean that the i9 upgrade for my coming 2018 MacBook Pro is back on the table. So, I don't know what I'm going to do there. Okay. So, that's all about the 2018 MacBook Pro. Apple Pay. eBay has announced that they're going to be supporting Apple Pay on the website and in the app coming soon because I need an easier way to pay on eBay. PayPal's not easy enough. You want to make this easier so that I can spend more money? Thanks, eBay.
Pretty much.
Really appreciate that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. But
What's the
Just
difference?
surprised it took as long as it did.
it kind
What's
of,
the difference?
It basically just, like, Apple Pay gives you one-touch secure payment in every app that supports it. So basically you hit eBay and you're all like, buy with Apple Pay. You tap a button, put your thumbprint on the fingerprint reader, or point the thing at your face if you've got an iPhone X, and you paid. You're done.
Oh.
It happened. It's like one click faster than PayPal in the eBay app.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
cool. There was a digital assistant shootout that actually caught my attention because Siri came in ahead of Cortana and Alexa.
That doesn't entirely surprise me.
And being able to correctly answer questions and parse responses and stuff like that. Still behind Google's Assistant, which
Right.
also doesn't surprise me.
No.
But, the next time
Nice.
somebody with an Alexa device gets all up on their high horse, I'm just going to be like, maybe get off of that. And the last piece of Apple news. Apple opens the Piazza Liberty store in Milan, which I only bring up because the entry for this thing is dope. Like it is cool. So it's if anyone has seen Apple's flagship store in New York, it's the glass cube sitting in the middle of this big plaza, and then you can walk down some stairs in this glass cube, and then you're in the Apple store, and it's got a big glowing apple on it. It looks really cool.
That's cool.
It's very fancy. So the Milan flagship store is very similar to that. Big open plaza. It's not a glass cube. It's like kind of a glass, like it's a tall narrow hallway corridor of glass. So you walk in the door at the end. There's a big glowing apple logo. You walk down some stairs and you're in the store. What makes it cool is they've got some fountains all along one side of it spraying up onto it and like onto the top and dripping down the side. And I'm all like, that would be neat to walk through there.
And it's not a cube. It's like a
No, yeah, it's like this
rectangle.
big long corridor
looking
of
at pictures
glass.
right now, and it's
It's
really
yeah,
cool.
it's got
looking.
those fountains
cool.
on it. It's pretty dope. It looks pretty cool. So
That is one thing Apple has always done very well is its retail stores.
yes, they're very nice.
And they've only gotten better over time.
Yep. They look nice. And I know so many people that are all like, the retail experience, the service experience at these places is horrible. And I'm all like, I mean, you're not wrong. Your wait time was significant. Your wait time would have been reduced if you would have called ahead and set up an appointment like Apple likes you to do. But you would have this exact same problem trying to get any kind of customer service at any other retail store that had as much business as Apple stores do, because they're packed all the time. And if you just walk in, yeah, you're not going to get service very fast. They're busy. If you call ahead to the Genius Bar and say, hey, I have this problem with my computer, I'd like to bring it in, they'll say, okay, bring it in at this time. And if you do that, you walk in, you talk to the guy inside the front door, and you say, I've got an appointment, and he points you right to the back, and there's somebody waiting for you. And that's a great experience.
Yeah.
So,
Hint.
do it the right way, and it works great. If you just walk in, it's going to take a while. I'm sorry, there's just a lot of people in line ahead of you. Okay. So, that's all of the Apple news that I have. I did have one piece of more general tech news. This is interesting to me. Samsung is building an unbreakable OLED panel.
Yes.
And what's interesting about this is that it has actually passed the UL certification tests, meaning that it's pretty much ready for customers' hands. So UL certification is one of the last pieces of regulatory stuff that a tech company has to put their products through before they can start selling them to the general public, along with like FCC certification where appropriate. And actually this one probably does have some form of FCC certification associated with because the electronics controller's on it. But UL is more focused around the safety of the device and the durability of the device. And as part of the UL certification, they did 23 drops from 3 meters. And 3 meters 2 meters is about 6 feet. 3 meters is about 9. So from 9 feet in the air onto basically a cement surface, 26 of those in a row with one of these panels. And it didn't break.
Wow.
So that's pretty impressive.
Now, this is not the glass. This is the display itself.
This is the display itself.
Which is still a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously on top of this, there's going to be glass that you're actually touching, but...
That tends to be a lot more durable than the display glass underneath.
Yeah.
And what...
Because I've had issues where I remember I had the Nexus 6, and it literally fell from off my lap onto a carpeted floor. Granted, it was not soft carpet, but it was carpeted. The glass itself was fine. Everything looked fine, but the screen didn't work because the screen got cracked.
Yep.
Like the display was broken.
Because typically LCD and OLED displays, like the actual panel itself, has a piece of glass substrate that runs through the panel. And it has to be very thin, particularly with OLED displays, because those things are flexible. They're designed to flex, and so it's a very thin piece of glass that's used inside of that display. Samsung has basically taken that out and replaced it with an extremely durable and very transparent plastic. The reason we haven't been using plastic for this kind of thing before is because plastic is not typically transparent enough to give us the color accuracy and image quality that we expect, especially out of something like an OLED panel. And so the fact that they've figured out a plastic that they can put in here that does allow the transparency that is necessary and is obviously going to be a lot more durable than glass means that your OLED panel you put in this thing, it's flexible. It's designed to flex. You could bend this thing a significant amount, and the plastic's not going to break. The OLED panel isn't going to break because it's flexible. So as long as everything else in the phone is fine with the bending, then your phone is fine. So that would be pretty cool. So they're in development on that. The fact that it has passed through UL certification tests does mean that we probably won't be seeing this in the Note 9, but there's a chance. No. There's a small chance.
Small chance.
They released...
I would see it coming on a phone next year. I wouldn't. I'd be surprised even if it was on the Galaxy S10 or whatever their next phone.
Yeah,
you know?
That one seems more likely, but it's still like, I don't know, maybe only 75% chance it'll be on that.
Yeah.
There's still like, yes, it's past the product development phase, but it's still early in the product release phase.
Yep.
So we'll have to see how far they can get it and how quickly they can push it out.
I would see something like this coming on like a Galaxy X, the rumored bendable, foldable phone that they're coming out with, because that's not going to have quite the numbers of a Note phone or a Galaxy S phone.
So they can afford to go with a more experimental display on something like that. That makes a lot of sense. And that's kind of why you won't be seeing this in most flagships, like this kind of technology in most flagships, probably. Like it's not going to be in the next iPhone.
No.
Guaranteed. Especially since the next iPhone is rumored to be at least 50% sourced from LG. So,
yeah.
The last thing about this panel that I really liked is they released a video just today of this panel basically announcing, yes, this is an unbreakable thing because we got rumors of it passing, like we found out about it passing the UL certification test because that's public record a couple of weeks ago, or like last week sometime. But today they actually announced the thing, and the video they announced it with shows them beating the thing with a rubber mallet, and it's fine. So that's pretty cool. So yeah,
I want to put this thing into Jerry Rig Everything's hands.
Ooh, yes.
See what he can do to it.
Yes.
Take a nail to it.
Jeez.
That would probably break it if we're honest.
Probably.
There's a reason they were using a rubber mallet instead of a steel mallet. I'm sure unbreakable is not meant to be taken literally.
Gotcha.
But yes, that's all of the tech news that I have for today.
Well, thank you. All right, Landon, let's move on to you.
Okay. So I've got a few things of Google News to talk about. First thing is the Chromecast. As of this July 24th, a few days ago, it's 5 years old.
Yes, it is.
And I'm both surprised and not surprised, because I'm surprised, I'm like, oh, it's been 5 years already?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like 5 years.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But I still have one of the original Chromecast devices. I bought it Thanksgiving after this, because they had them at Best Buy for like $15 a piece.
Yeah.
And I bought one because they were cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already cheap at $35, but $15 or $20, whatever. That's like, why not? You know?
Yeah.
Because Chromecast is a great device. I mean, they're easy to use, easy to set up. You just plug them in, download the app, and you're good to go. And I will say, 5 years ago, when they first came out, there was next to nothing that worked with them. You could do YouTube. You could do, I think Netflix was one of the starting partners with it, and then Chrome tabs. And that's about it for the first couple months.
Yeah.
And I remember I forgot that the Chrome tab option was an option until someone mentioned it, and I remembered that's how we watched the Super Bowl that year. Because for some reason, where I was watching the Super Bowl, it was at my parents' house, and they, at the time, were just using an antenna, and it wasn't working quite properly. So we wanted to watch the Super Bowl, and because they had the biggest TV, and it was like, okay, that's where we're going to do it. But so I brought my Chromecast with me, got it all set up. The only mobile streaming at the time, and I think it's still the case, was through Verizon cell phones. And you had to have a certain app and different thing and all sorts of crap. I was like, this is stupid. But you could stream it on a computer. So I went to my parents' laptop, opened the game up on Chrome tab, and then cast it to my Chromecast through the computer. And it worked great.
That's awesome.
So Chromecast saved the Super Bowl.
For you that year. Yay. Yes. Yeah. I'm late to the bandwagon, but man, I love that thing.
Yeah, and now, I mean, even now there's a lot of TVs that have not necessarily a Chromecast, but the casting technology built into them. Most Vizio TVs nowadays have casting built in, like Google Cast.
And they each have their own, like, I know Samsung has, like, their own type of cast.
Yeah, Samsung does, and like Amazon, like they have their own version of a Chromecast that you can cast stuff to, and yeah. But, yeah, Chromecast, though, for the price and what it can do is pretty awesome. But, yeah, it's now 5 years old. So, the next Google thing is Developer Preview 5 for Android P randomly came out this past week. I wasn't expecting that at all. And all of a sudden, I see articles that it's out. I'm like, oh, that's fun. And then I was working one night, and all of a sudden, my phone notified me, you've got an update. I'm like, oh, download, thank you.
Gonna do that.
There's not really many changes, like visible changes that you can see between 4 and 5. Just very, 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 very minor things. A couple icon changes, nothing major. But this one has all of the final APIs available to developers. And we're expecting the final release to be in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow.
Available for everyone.
Well,
that's nice.
With a device that is going to be getting it.
Well, yes.
So, you guys.
Yes.
Hey.
Me and Wes will have it in a couple weeks,
Yay.
the official release. And I'm debating if I want to reset my phone at that time just to be on the regular version, or if I want to keep on the beta until I get the Pixel 3. Because I hate resetting my phone if it's not new.
Yeah.
I hate having to reset up a phone if it's not a new phone.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
it makes sense.
It's the same amount of effort to do it on a new phone, but for some reason it just feels better.
It's because you have a new phone to play with.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's available if you're on the beta.
Cool.
You probably already have it, but if you don't, go look for it. The last thing of Google news that I have, and this is something I didn't think I would talk about, but they had their Cloud Next conference this past week, and it's basically Google's enterprise conference, I guess, which I didn't know was a thing until recently. But they announced a major change that I'm surprised wasn't there before to Google Docs. They're going to have grammar check inside of Google Docs.
Yes.
So, I mean, something that Microsoft has had in Word for, like 20 years.
That was Clippy.
Yeah, Clippy. But the thing I like about this is with Google's AI, and it's going to have machine learning built in, it can get better over time and not just have to be updated from Google when it can be better, I guess, over a year's time or whatnot. This, as you're using it, will start to learn. And the way someone at Google described it is it's going to be similar to how its translation software works. So, like, think the way he said, it's kind of like if you were translating French to English. This is proper English, or bad grammar English to proper grammar English. Just automatic translation. Like, that's kind of interesting way of talking about it.
Yeah. Well, that's better than the way that Word does it, because Word is really stupid. It's just like, oh, like, look, you put this word next to this word, and usually that's a bad thing. But every time I do it, it's what I intended. And so then it underlines it with blue, and it's all like, hey, you should fix this. And I'm like, no, I shouldn't.
What do you want me to fix
Word.
it to?
That's correct. Sorry.
So, yeah, so I'm interested to see how this ends up working out.
Yeah.
I think it could be a good thing. It's just, that's one thing, like Google Docs, I love it. It's a really good basic Word editor, but that's what it is. It's a basic Word document editor, and there's no, there's not a lot of big things like Word has had because it's been around forever.
Well, you know what, though?
But most people don't need it.
I think for the vast majority of use cases, Google Docs is better than Word.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's all I ever use nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, there's very few things that I find I'm missing inside of Google Docs that Word has.
Yeah. And honestly, it does some things better than Word. And this is like one of my biggest pet peeves is when people complain about Pages and Google Docs in comparison to Word, because they don't have the feature set, the professional feature set of Word. And I'm like, but if you've got to do some document layout, you are going to be way better off with Pages or Google Docs than Word, because Word's document layout features are a convoluted mess that don't work the same way twice. It's really obnoxious. And most people who use Word, they don't realize that they are dealing with painful things that they just don't have to deal with. You could just do this project in Google Docs. It'd be a heck of a lot easier to do. You'd be happier. It would take less time. Yeah. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. Just because Word has been around longer and they have bloated it with so many features that most of which do not work consistently.
Or do not need to be there.
Yeah, people seem to think it's better just because it has features. And I'm like, nah, no. I mean, yeah, it can do some things that those other things can't do, but are those things that you want to be doing in Word? Not usually.
Right.
Like, typically, you should be doing those things in a completely different piece of software.
Like the graphic art.
Oh my gosh, yes. Doing graphics and stuff in Word is hilarious.
Anyways, moving on. Now on to some general tech news. Samsung. So the Note 9 is coming on August 9th, obviously. We've talked about this before. There's been lots of leaks. It looks like a bigger version of the Galaxy S9, obviously, because that's how they generally go. The thing I wanted to talk about, though, is there was a leaked wireless charger coming for the Note 9, and it's called the Wireless Charger Duo, which would imply two, and that's exactly what this is. It's a dock that it's kind of interesting looking. So it's got two Qi wireless charger placement pads like on the thing, so you can put two devices on it that are Qi wireless enabled. So iPhone 10s, a lot of Android phones, just tons of different devices. One of them looks like it folds up, kind of how a lot of Samsung docks have done in the past to put your phone so it's at an angle so you can kind of see what's going on with it if you want to. The other one's just flat, and it's a small little circle, which kind of leads to believe, hey, that's where a watch is supposed to go.
Yeah.
And so their Galaxy Watch that's rumored to be coming, it's going to go along with this. But it does say and this was a box that was leaked. On the box it says charge 2 phones, charge a phone and a watch, and then just says any Qi-enabled device. Like,
Nice.
Phone and a watch, how convenient.
Yes.
They beat Apple to the punch.
Yeah.
Freaking, where is that air power?
Yeah.
I want one.
What the heck, Apple? You announced that a year and a half ago. What the heck?
Yeah. And this is also supposed to be a quick charge pad as well, because that's pretty much all Samsung ever puts out.
Yeah, and that's actually that's the best reason to buy a Samsung Qi charger for any Qi device.
If you're going to buy one that says quick charge anything on it, make sure it's a Samsung, because they're doing it right.
Yes, they have the best quality control in that regard.
Yes.
For sure.
It's not going to get extremely hot.
Well,
they even have one with a fan built in if you want.
It will get extremely hot, but it's better about handling it and is the least likely to cause your phone to spontaneously combust.
Surprisingly, considering the Note
know,
7.
Right? They learned something, apparently.
And this is for me, but I think that what they need to do is license with Blizzard and make it a pylon.
Oh my gosh. Was it you that told me about the USB? Yeah.
My brother has it. Is so jealous.
I looked one of those things up online and I was like, oh, I need that. Just so that I could take it to a coffee shop and then plug in a bunch of USB devices and then go I need additional pylons, and then pull this thing out of for anybody sitting nearby who gets the joke.
Oh, man. If they could do that, but the wireless charging,
that would be awesome.
So you could just charge your watch or whatever just next to it.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Because it would be
I will pay the money.
good. It would be especially good if you could have your phone say, when it's running low on battery, instead of just popping up a battery alert, if it actually verbally said, you require additional pylons out loud in a public place, you could be like, oh man, and then pull this thing out, plug it in, and then your phone starts charging. That would be dope.
I'm sure this will be a thing someday. It's gonna take a while.
Man, Blizzard, please.
Do it.
You want to make a quick buck.
I would buy that so fast. I don't even have any wirelessly rechargeable devices, and I would buy it.
Exactly.
Preparing yourself for when you do.
Exactly.
Yep. Future-proof.
That's funny. Okay, next little bit of Samsung news, and this is also going to transition into gaming news.
Yes.
So we're just going to move on to that now. That's all the general tech news that I have. So, you may have heard of this little game. A lot of people have started playing it. It's called Fortnite. It's somewhat popular.
I may or may not have heard of this.
I've never played it.
Once upon a time.
I've never played it, but I've heard of it from a few people. It's not on Android yet.
Nope.
Which, for as popular as this game is kind of surprising. Because once it comes to Android, it's just going to blow up even more.
Yes.
But rumors are that it's going to be a Note 9 exclusive initially, which that sucks.
Well,
for anybody that wanted to play this game immediately, you're going to have to buy a Note 9.
Yeah.
And as my comment before the show, when we talked, so we said something about this. Someone paid a lot of money.
Somebody paid a lot of money.
I think PUBG's jealous. Because, dude.
Yeah, but PUBG has been reaping the reward of having been on Android this whole time as the only option. And I still think, based on having played both of them still fairly recently, PUBG is a better mobile game. Like, if you're going to be playing a mobile battle royale game, pick up PUBG. Just it's better than Fortnite.
So you've played the Fortnite one?
Yeah, well, because it's been on iOS for like 3 months.
Well, I knew that, but I just didn't know if you played it.
I have played both of them. There's a video on our YouTube channel that is a nice comparison of the two. But yeah, I definitely preferred.
And what YouTube channel is that?
That would be Calling All Platforms on YouTube.com.
Thank you.
Yes. Go to YouTube.com. Search for Calling All Platforms. It's great.
Anyway, so it's supposedly going to be pre-installed on the phone because Samsung. It will include free in-game items, including V-Bucks and certain skins and other additional things that they didn't mention yet. The thing here is it's only going to be for around 30 days is what we're expecting, which is shorter than I would think, but with the popularity of the game, does make sense.
Yeah.
If you want a Note 9 and you don't want this, I'm sure Samsung will have other options available that come with free other things, like a free duo charger maybe, or a discounted watch that's going to come out with it, or something to the effect. So that's, I mean, if you were looking into the Note 9 anyways, and you were like, oh, that might be a fun game, or if you've been wanting this game, then you may as well just buy that one. If not, then, oh well, buy the phone anyways. You can delete it. So that's my thing on Fortnite. Again, don't care that much.
But hey,
but you know,
news.
for
It's
those
good
of
news.
you that do like that game, it's gonna come to Android.
I guess you get to pre-play it if you buy the phone.
Yeah, and like I said, the Note 9 is going to be announced on August 9th. It's rumored to come out on August 24th, so that's when Fortnite will be available on that phone. And then, if the 30-day rumor is correct, at the end of September, it will be on all of Android. So, just a couple more months, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is.
But like I said, you guys have the better option available to you right now. It's PUBG. Go download it.
Yes. Okay. Next bit of Android gaming news that I have. Alto's Odyssey is now available. I got the notification at around 2 o'clock in the morning.
And then I got a notification from Landon about 2:01 in the morning.
Like, Wes, go download this. It's now there. Yes,
Yep.
I sent you a screenshot of me downloading the game.
Yes, I got it.
And this game is amazing.
So good.
It's awesome.
I mean, we've obviously talked about this before because it's been on iOS for a few months already. But man, and I've refrained from playing it on iOS devices because I don't want to buy it on my iPad that I'm going to play twice and then buy it on my phone and play it a million times.
Oh, though I tell you what, the big screen is real nice.
Oh, I bet.
Looks good. Looks real good.
But man, you know, I always really enjoyed Alto's Adventure. It was a really fun game, and we were talking about this before. The music and sounds on that game are really good, but I've always been the type, when I first download a game on my phone, I'll play it with sound, get the experience, and then I take the sound off because I generally don't want to play games with sound on my phone.
Yep.
This game, I definitely prefer the sound being on.
Even like with headphones kind of thing.
Especially with headphones.
So good.
It's just, the music is really good. It's kind of subtle and in the background.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so perfect for this game. And all the little sounds, like things you wouldn't think about. Like the sound of the board on the sand. The sound of the board on when you're wall writing is really good.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
The birds in the background are just,
Yep.
it sounds just so good.
Good ear candy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And like, seriously, so like people that have played the original game are probably familiar with the stark difference between the main game's music, which is good,
Yes.
and very like it's driving and it's, you know, kind of hyped up, intense stuff, versus the music for Zen mode, which is very different. And they were written by two different composers because Zen mode came out much later than the game originally released. They got a different composer.
About a year
to do,
after almost.
Yeah, they got a different composer to do the music for that. And the same is actually true with Alto's Odyssey. They got two different composers to do the music for the main game versus Zen mode. And actually, the guy they got to do the music for Zen mode was Austin Wintory, who anybody familiar with video game music, especially indie video game music, knows Austin Wintory, and he is so good at writing video game music. So the Zen mode music for Alto's Odyssey is fantastic. But it's like the main game, or actually he did the main game music. The guy who did the Zen mode music for the first game came back to do the Zen mode for the second game. And it's also really good. But like the main game's music is just so much better than the main game music from Alto's Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just, it's every bit as good as the Zen mode music from the first one. I actually think it's a little better. I like Austin Wintory's version of the music for Alto's Odyssey better than the other guys. And, like, just, yeah, the sound design and everything, it is astonishing to me, the quality we get out of indie game developers these days. And this game is no exception. Like, it is among the best indie game titles of 2018, and that includes all of the PC and console indie game releases, which have been amazing. It's just a really good game, and like everybody should download it. And the fact that like on Android, it's ad supported. You can get it free with ads. So if you have an Android phone, there's no reason to not download this thing.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
you have an M-Horse Pure 1, which is way too wussy to play it, just in case you were wondering.
I love that you try with that thing. That's
Well,
amazing.
yeah.
I love it.
It's there.
Yeah. Now, so I want to read off some of the stats that I've had so far. I've had the game for about a little over 30 hours, 36 hours as of this recording. And I've played it a lot. So, meters traveled, I've already gone 351,105 meters. Let's see, I've jumped 3,864 times.
Jeez.
I have, let's see. This one I thought was interesting. Most flips in one jump. This is like one of my favorite parts of the game is I just do backflips all the time.
Yeah.
If you
that's
watch any of
fun.
my streams, you'll see
It's
that.
fun.
But most flips in one jump was 11, which
Oh, wow.
I didn't know it was that high, but that's impressive. But
Yeah.
but you can do that because between grinding and the balloons,
Oh my gosh,
bouncing off the
balloons.
balloons, like if you bounce off a balloon, that is like almost an automatic 3 backflip
Yep.
Yep.
jump right
Yep.
there. And if you get like 3 or 4 in a row, man, you're good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's fun.
Well, so like, so you get Maya, right? You unlock Maya,
Oh, I
and
love-
she
she's-
backflips so much easier than everyone else. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. And so you'll get to like the chasms that have like 3 balloons, and that's how you get across that chasm.
Yep.
And you start a backflip right at the end of one chasm. You bounce off of one balloon, bounce to the next balloon, bounce to the third balloon, and then bounce off to the other side. You're doing backflips the whole time. You don't have to land on those balloons. You can be in the middle of a backflip. You'll still bounce. And so you just sit there and just go, you're sitting there spinning in circles,
Wow.
and she's getting sick and puking all over the place. And it's great fun.
Yeah.
There's no actual puke, just to be clear. I was just making that up.
That would be awfully strange.
That would be weird looking in that game.
Yeah. The other thing let's see, which level am I on? I'm already on to level 29, and I've got 2 of the 3 things on level 29 done. I'm trying to get the wall ride to grind 3 times in one run, which is not going to be super easy. Because you have to have very specific scenarios in which to do that.
Yes.
But like we were talking about this earlier, and I've found that if you get stuck on a level and you're trying and trying to get it, at least on the Android version, the longer it takes you to get it, the more convenient the game tries to make it for you to do
to do it.
that thing. Because I've noticed there's been certain scenarios where I had to do certain things, and it's like, like we were talking before, you have to grind on a shipwreck. I'm like, I don't think I've seen a shipwreck in this game. I've already been playing for multiple hours. And it just all of a sudden appeared, and like, oh, there it is. And of course, the
Grind.
first time I see it, I miss. Because it's one of those things, if you do backflips like I do, you probably backflipped over it. Because that's generally what happens. Or
Yes.
you hit it and then die because you go into a chasm or something stupid like that. Which is what I generally do. But so, like, I found one, and then I missed, and I was like, crap, it took me this long to find it. It's going to take me this long to find another one. It's actually about 2 tries later that it just came back again because I've been going for it for a while. It knows. Thank you, Altos at Odyssey, for putting that in there.
Not being a jerk.
Yes. Thank you.
So yeah, it's an amazing game. I really, really enjoy it. And if you haven't played Alto's Adventure for some reason yet, I would recommend starting with that one, because I noticed with this one, when you get the new people, it doesn't really tell you about those people.
Yeah.
So if you haven't played the first one, you're not going to really know what the pros and cons of each person are.
Yeah.
So I would recommend playing Alto's Adventure first, just for that, and to get the basics of the game down.
And also because Alto's Adventure is a beautiful game, and it is really
Yes.
good, and it's lovely to play.
Yeah.
And once you've played Alto's Odyssey, you'll never be able to go back.
Yeah,
Like, it feels substandard in comparison.
yeah. But it's a great game. I would definitely recommend it to anybody out there that is into mobile gaming, or just into gaming in general, because that's how good of a game this is. There was one stat I'm trying to find. I'm trying to see where it is. I can find out how many hours I've played the game, but it's not showing me, and I'm kind of disappointed because I'm sure it's a lot.
I'm sure 30.
In the 30 hours that I've had the game, yes. But anyways, that's all my news for the day.
That's great news. Those games are so fun. Now that I'm actually on Android platform and actually get the legitimate Alto's Adventure and Odyssey, they're really fun. I really enjoyed it too. So I would definitely recommend it as well. I am late to it, like I said, but still, it's one of the funnest, and I actually started streaming it as well because it's an easy one to stream and just enjoy.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. And that's like really, I'm sure there are a lot of listeners out there that look at game streaming like, why would I watch a game instead of just playing the game? And I totally get that. But keep in mind that Alto's Odyssey and Alto's Adventure are games that have a built-in Zen mode.
Yeah.
Because just watching what is happening and listening to the sounds of it, the game is so well designed that is legitimate like stress relief right there. Mm-hmm. So if you really just need to chill, go find somebody that's streaming Alto's Odyssey and watch them for a little while. It's especially good if they're not talking. You know,
well,
if it's just the sounds of the game. And
I've purposefully, I mean, I had this set up anyways, where if I'm streaming on Mixer, I turn off my camera and I turn off the sound.
Yeah.
But especially in this game, if you're playing this game and you have your face there and your sound on, it's like just stop.
Yeah. No, don't
stream
do
this game.
Yeah.
This is the kind of game that you stream to try and make your channel, like your viewers, just
enjoy
relax
watching
for a little minute. You know, like, and it's the kind of thing where you can just 5 minutes. Just give it 5 minutes and see if it doesn't just make you feel better about life.
Plus, it's fun to make fun of your friends when they crash.
Yeah, that too.
Yes.
That too.
Hence, I
Good times.
made fun of you.
See, again, I didn't even see a chat thing.
Well, it's
streaming.
weird. It's weird. So, I guess to tell you how to do it, so you get that little bubble in the corner,
Right.
and it shows your face or your icon.
Mm-hmm.
You click that again, and while the streaming's going, and then it'll actually show you all your stats. It'll actually say if you're streaming in HD, how many viewers, your bit rate. I mean, it'll do that, and then on the side, it'll bring up another icon on the side of that. It'll show you, hey, this is your chat. So just so you know. But that is actually
Good
pretty
to
fun.
know.
Because it's just fun to be like, oh, that's so cool. Oh, we just got owned by that rock or that campfire.
I will say you definitely have to pay a little more attention in this game to rocks because there's things in the background, especially if you're going at night when it's darker.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a mountain go behind you and there's a rock that's even with that, you won't see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Unless you are really paying attention. And that's happened a few times to me. It's like
I've seen you hit.
all of a sudden, what? No.
Yep.
There was not a rock there, I swear.
So it is fun. It is. So, all right, moving on here. I did want to mention Xbox has got a brand new game that's finally come to Xbox. It's called No Man's Sky.
Hey.
2 years later.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, you got the good version.
Yeah. Well, 2 years of updates and fixes, and it comes to Xbox. Apparently, a lot of people are really liking it because obviously it's been enhanced for the 4K, the HDR graphics, obviously for the Xbox One, and it supports the Mixer game streaming, so that all these added features. But also on here it says they got the multiplayer, the unlimited base building, and the ability to command freighters in the near infinite universe. So I haven't played the game. I've heard of it. I've heard of the demise and the hatred, but
oh, geez. Talk about overpromising, underdelivering. No Man's Sky is going to be the case study for that behavior for the next couple decades, I suspect.
Yeah. But I've actually seen a lot of people playing this, picking this up.
Yeah.
A lot of people, surprisingly so. Obviously, on Mixer, if there's an Xbox game, Mixer's probably going to have most of the majority if it's like an Xbox exclusive. I actually have seen this on Twitch a lot more, too. So, surprisingly, everyone else has hopped on this bandwagon and started playing it. So.
And honestly, over the past couple of years, most of the PC players who bought the thing and were super pissed off with the developers when the game first came out, they've all come back. Because the developers really have lived up to pretty much all of the promises that they made before the game released. It just took them 2 years to get there.
Yeah.
Which is not great. You know, like that
there was some bad choices.
For a $60 game, it was under-delivered massively to PC gamers when it was released. But at this point, it's actually a pretty good game. Most of the PC players have come back to it because it is a good game.
Yeah.
And I suspect that a lot of Xbox players are going to pick it up because it is a good game. So,
Yeah. So I have a little interest in it, but I still have such a back catalog that
oh yeah,
I'm just
to
not
say
gonna...
nothing of stuff like Overwatch and Sea of Thieves that
right.
you're never going to run out of content.
Right. So, but this is on there. A lot of people like it. It is $50 in the Microsoft Store. One thing to note that it is not a Xbox Play Anywhere. So,
Right.
I doubt they'll try and. I mean, this only came to PlayStation, or it came to PlayStation and PC.
So it was
First.
not released to PlayStation initially, but it was released to PlayStation like 6 months to a year ago, I want to say.
Okay.
Something like that. But it released through Steam on PC exclusively
Right.
at first, with plans to come to consoles in the near future, was what they said at the time. And here we are 2 years later, finally getting it on Xbox.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was yet another promise that the developers kind of... These guys did not manage their communication with their fan base very well at all.
No.
Anybody who's interested in like bad communication between a company and their fans, just look at that whole situation. Did not go well.
Right. So, all right, moving on from there, I did want to mention the August games with gold. So, in August, the first game we'll get is Forza Horizon 2 Standard 10th Anniversary Edition. So, definitely promoting their Forza. If you like racing games, obviously you probably already have this, or it's free for you, or not, but
Right.
you like it. So, the next one for the Xbox One will be For Honor Standard
Yeah.
Edition. So,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I know that's more of a cult liking.
It is, yeah. Like, it's not... It hasn't received, I think, the big acceptance that Ubisoft wanted it to.
Yeah.
But the people who did get into it really got into it. Like,
They really like it. So
Yeah.
it's not a huge following, but they are there.
it's dedicated.
So that's available if you ever wanted to tip your toe into that game. It's because that's the one that is more combat based. Like you have to actually if you
Yeah.
watch somebody's animation and they're swiping down, you have to find the animation to swipe up and
Yep.
counter it or
Yep.
whatever. So
It's direct counters. You've got to time your counters and your blocks, and you got to time your attacks, and like you got to be really good at like seeing how they're blocking and making it look like you're going to attack where they're blocking, and then switching at the last second to attack from a different direction, and then they have to get really good at being able to switch their block at the last second to block that attack, and so on. It's very tactical and very very detailed and intricate and strategy based, and it's pretty cool if you're good at that kind of thing. Once again, there's a first impressions video of that up on our YouTube channel, so you can
that's a
go look
Calling
at
All
that if you wanna
Platforms
give it a
YouTube channel. Sweet. All right, so
two plugs so far.
yeah. So the next game that's an Xbox 360 game that's backwards compat is Dead Space 3. And the other ones have been previous games with gold. So this is the third one.
There you go. They got the whole trilogy in there. That's cool.
And then one I'm actually kind of interested in is Disney Epic Mickey 2.
Oh, the Epic Mickey games.
Yeah. So that one's the second one. Obviously, they only made two, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So if you like the Epic Mickey, here you go. And then so I was like, I've been interested in them, so that's why I was like, oh, this will be cool. I get it for free.
Yeah, they look like interesting little takes on a Disney RPG kind of thing.
Yeah. And then I did want to mention this, and this is something I have said before, and I want to make sure it's clear. So with games with gold. So you have to have gold status on Xbox to actually access and play these games. Say your gold lapses, it's gone, you actually lose the access to play all the games with gold you have, but as soon as you get gold back, they're just restored.
Right.
So it's not technically it's just licensing, how they do the licensing. It's like
Right.
if you are a gold member, here's your access to these as well. So I did want to mention that because usually I say, oh, I get free games and this and this and this. I guess in a sense, since I always just have my gold up, that's how I consider it.
Right.
But really, this is how the licensing is.
Yeah.
So
well,
I did
to
want
be
to mention
fair,
that.
if you're playing multiplayer games on Xbox and you don't have games with gold, or you don't have gold,
Then you're not playing multiplayer games.
right?
So I guess it's just something I've always just had in my thought. I'm like, I just always have it. So
Yeah.
that's why I say free. Just wanted to make that update and make it clear. So on there. So One thing also to mention, I have mentioned before, was the Microsoft Rewards program. It is now on the Xbox. And what's really interesting is anything on the Xbox on the Xbox app for Microsoft Rewards, you can't find on, say, Edge or the website. So all these things are exclusive. So, for example, getting more points for certain games to buy. They're always putting games and movies up there. So like right now, I can get extra points for Thor Ragnarok. Things like that for buying the movie. But it's only through on the Xbox. So I would suggest definitely having that because, I mean, more points. If you're already buying games, you might as well benefit from this rewards program. So I'd like to mention that too. So if you don't like to do Bing searches or anything like that, this is another opportunity to get that. So
there you go.
Even their hardware, like I can get. I know a lot of people don't know the scale, but I can get like 50,000 points just for buying an Xbox One X. So they even for hardware for buying it through there, they're like, yeah, buy this through here, you get these many points, which that alone can be from what I've looked at, you can get Xbox Live Gold for a year plus a couple other things with that just for buying that through there. So
yeah,
opportunities for that. So
sweet.
Anyway, that's all the gaming news I have, and I think good old Caleb here might have some things to talk about.
I've got a couple.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, Indie Game Spotlight of the week. This week from Stoic Studios, we have The Banner Saga 3. So, anybody who's been paying attention to indie games over the past 4 years has probably heard of the Banner Saga games. So, there have been the Banner Saga 1 and the Banner Saga 2 before this, just in case the 3 wasn't clear on the end of that. So that was recently released, Banner Saga 3, and it's available for $25 on Steam and GOG for Windows and Mac OS. I want to point out that the Banner Saga 1 and 2 are available for $20 on Steam and GOG, and also $10 on iOS each. So it's a thought. They are all tied together. You don't pick up the Banner Saga 3 and just start playing it because the story continues from the end of the Banner Saga 2, and you kind of need to do that. Basically, they're difficult to explain. They are tactical turn-based RPGs.
Ooh, okay.
So the tactical combat paired with turn-based basically means that it's like a chessboard with characters on it, and then you take turns moving them around the chessboard to attack. The RPG elements is that all of those characters, all those little heroes that you're controlling during the tactical turn-based combat are, you can level them up, you can give them points over time, and you can change their skills and that kind of thing to kind of role play them to your own play style. So kind of like think a little bit of XCOM in terms of the gameplay itself. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel exactly like XCOM. It's actually kind of like a mix of XCOM and Age of Wonders tactical or turn-based combat from like way back in the early 90s. So, anybody who played that game,
yeah,
if that helps.
You're welcome for that.
It's
flashback.
Actually about from the same time period as the first XCOM, I think. So there you go. So yeah, it's that's the gameplay itself. The focus of the game is on the story that's being told at the time, and the story continues through all three games. Several members of the Stoic Studios development team have BioWare backgrounds, so they know how to do a good story-driven RPG. And for all accounts, this trilogy is one of the great indie game development cycles of all time. So Stoic Studios has knocked this out of the park, essentially. It is just gorgeous to look at. The backgrounds are hand-painted works of art, and it's just a really pretty game. You guys just need to go look it up. Like, I really cannot describe how good this looks. It's kind of... I tend to do that a lot with like highly stylized indie games that we talk about on the Indie Game Spotlight of the Week. Like, this game is gorgeous, you just have to go look at it. And I'm dead serious. Like, just go Google the Banner Saga. Take a look at some of the screen captures from that game, because it is pretty. And the story itself is evidently amazing. And, from all the reviews, very much a story of our time. It's on my list, the whole trilogy. I kind of feel like I should probably finish The Witcher 3 first, and then I also need to finish Pyre from Supergiant Studios. So, it's a little ways down my list. But there you go. The Banner Saga 3, for all intents and purposes, this should be the end of the Banner Saga series. So now is probably a good time to pick up all 3 and just binge straight through them.
It is a pretty cool art style. I'm looking at it right now.
Like it's so like it's unique. It's definitely. I mean, it's very different than anything else that you're going to see. But it just looks so good. It's actually okay. It's not super different than some other indie games. Anyone who's played Supergiant Games, any of their games, it's the same kind of cartoonish, but like gorgeous hand painted character work and backgrounds and like environments like that and that kind of thing. So
does
really
have
cool.
a 90s feel of cartoon.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's got some of that like hand-drawn adventure like game style going to it. But yeah, it's really great.
I like that it does look like a chessboard.
It looks exactly like a chessboard, doesn't it?
Sorry, looking at them now.
You get those heroes there. It's basically like playing chess where you can upgrade your pieces.
Yeah.
So it's all like this particular pawn can shoot lightning and stuff like that.
Reminds me of that old, Chess Master games that like a rook can eat your queen or some those animations they would do.
Good times.
Those were great.
Which,
Good
by the
times.
way, if you want to know, was actually like old school Blizzard. What was their name? What was their name before Blizzard?
I can't remember.
It's like Silicon Synapses or... Anyway.
That sounds familiar.
They actually created a lot of those old school, those, before they were Blizzard. Sorry.
Well, there you go. That was their roots in strategy games, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The last piece of gaming news that I have to talk about is that the Overwatch League finals are happening right now.
Just happened.
By the time, the first game of the finals just happened. So by the time this episode hits the air, they will be over. It'll be over tomorrow. And I don't know who has won yet, obviously. So it was either the Philadelphia Fusion or the London Spitfire. And Landon, maybe you can just edit out all of the talk around that and just say, like, the winner was, and then just put one of those two team names, whichever one won. I'll let you know. He's looking at me like that's not going to happen. Okay.
I was going to say, I don't want to be rude, but you're making it seem like I care.
So, yeah, obviously don't
That's
know
rude
who
of
won.
him to think that you care.
The first match went to the London Spitfire, so all they have to do to clinch it is to win one match tomorrow. I really hope they don't. I'm rooting for the Philadelphia Fusion because I'm angry with the Spitfire for eliminating the LA Gladiators from finals contention. So that's my personal take on it. And I had time this afternoon to catch one match, the very beginning of the first match, so the first map there, and also a bit of the pregame show and stuff like that. So they've been doing the Overwatch League Season 1 so far in the Blizzard Arena in LA up to this point. And that's a pretty big esports arena for an arena dedicated to nothing but esports. It's pretty big, and it's cool. They got really sweet monitors up at the front that like big old displays that are highly thematic, and it looks really good. This one is in New York. It's in Brooklyn. It's in the Mets not the Mets, oh gosh. Their basketball team.
The Knicks, Madison Square Garden.
That's it, the Knicks.
Madison Square.
My gosh. Yes, so you can tell how much attention I pay to normal sports. But yeah, so they're in there, and they have transformed that thing into... I don't know where they got those displays from in that thing, but they're flipping huge, and they're really cool. And they sold out... So they created a stage at one end of the court and blocked off all the seats behind that stage. But they still sold out every other seat in that whole arena, 24,000 plus tickets for an esports event. That is the biggest esports event in the history of the West. And actually, I'm pretty sure that also includes all the tournament finals in Korea.
Well, that's technically the East.
No, the Western world, like the Western Hemisphere, not the Western United States.
There are more places in the world besides the United States and Canada and Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on.
There's a place called Europe.
There's this thing it's a globe.
Asia.
Is it Europe? Europe?
Depends on who you talk to.
Anyways, we've never seen anything of this scale in the United States before. Normally, any kind of esports event that gets this much hype is in Korea. And even Korea does not have anything of this magnitude. So this is like a massive first. They've got tons of sponsorships and stuff, so they've actually made a really good case for an esport event being a super profitable sporting event.
Yeah,
and
they just made it.
The hype around this thing has been nuts. Like watching the pregame show and like listening to the crowd reactions and like the whole, like they had one of their casters come out and do the whole like, we're going to introduce the team and like, I give you your Philadelphia Fusion. And the crowd just went nuts. And I was like, woohoo, this is like, I was like getting into it from my couch at home watching on Twitch.
That's
so,
awesome.
Like, it's sweet. And that first game, like that first map, at least, like it really matched up to everybody's expectations, I think. And Philadelphia Fusion managed to pull it out. And they basically did a repeat of what they did with the New York Excelsior during the quarterfinals, or no, the semifinals. And they managed to push the payload all the way to the end of the map in overtime. They barely made it. Just managed to brawl their way into a finish. And then London Spitfire came back and just pushed through the first 2 points with the payload in like a minute. Like, it took them no time at all. They got to the third point, and they had, like, less than a third of the map left to go, with almost 5 minutes on the clock to finish this off with. Anyone who has played Overwatch will understand that meant that the Fusion were getting rolled hard. Like, it looked so bad for them. They held it. They held that third point for 5 minutes. And they stopped the London Spitfire on the brink, like literally meters away from victory. They managed to pull it out. And it was an amazing game to watch. I don't know how the rest of the other 3 games that London won in a row, I don't know how close those were. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm going to be watching tomorrow, the final. So it should be pretty exciting. And next week, I'll be back with news about who our Season 1 champions are, and hopefully when we can expect Season 2 to start, which, I mean, I assume will probably be sometime around February of next year. So, there you go. Overwatch League. Super exciting.
And next time they'll have a gerbil.
Yes. Oh, I mean, have you played him
No,
at all?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh, he's so much fun. Have you played the new Symmetra?
Yeah, I've played the new Symmetra.
Like,
Holy
between
crap.
her and the gerbil or the hamster, whatever he is, oh my gosh, the meta is so different now.
Just so Landon understands. So in Overwatch, there is now a gerbil hamster
Hyper intelligent gerbil or hamster.
that has created his own little tank.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
It's pretty awesome. And his name is Wrecking Ball. Well, his name is, what's his actual name?
I don't know.
Hammond?
Hammond.
I think
Hammond.
his actual name is Hammond, but
They call him Wrecking Ball
his
because-
tank's name is Wrecking Ball, and he can roll up into a little ball and roll around. And it's
That's awesome.
pretty super dope. And he can shoot a grappling hook out of the ball while he's rolling in it and to accelerate himself and go faster and swing around things. And the best thing that I have seen with that is on the control point maps.
Yes.
Because if he's hovering a couple of feet over the control point, he's still contesting it. And so you'll get a dude with Wrecking Ball. He's the last one on the team. He'll just go into a ball, shoot a grapple onto something in the middle of the point, and then just
swirl.
sit there and spin around. And he's really hard to hit, and he does knock back, so he Reinhardt's can't get to him, and he can just sit there forever and and contest that point.
I have not seen him in action, but I probably will this weekend.
Yeah, it's good times. Good times. He's everywhere. He's in every game, I swear.
Yeah, well, he's the new character.
He is,
so
yep. Him and Symmetra. They're everywhere.
Ugh.
Good times.
Anyway, well, I think that's everything.
Yep.
Landon, you got one more thing?
Nope, not this week.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for listening. And if you want to go ahead and get any notes from us, you can check our website at callingallplatforms.com. And you guys have a good rest of your week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.